Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A quick update on what's going off in the garden and with the fish and the fry, obviously, which aren't moving very much. But a quick look at the rockery on the front going down. This is looking quite refreshed. We went away last weekend for 3 days, and the bit of rain while we were away picked the garden up no end. I'll show you on the back when we get to where the tomatoes are growing outside. They've took off, but too much. But I will show you what's going off in here. Don't know whether you can see these. I can't see them through the camera very well, but these are what I put back in here from the swimming pool pond when I decided to let the fry have the swimming pool pond to themselves, and they're all still alive. They're all doing well. They're not eating much food because unfortunately I've been disturbing them while I've been getting everything ready. But as you can see, I've put my feeder, my spare feeder, on there. I did say this in my last video. This is set for 3 feeds a day, but only 2 lots each feed. And I've had to hang it over the edge because obviously when I opened the lid on this, I didn't want it knocking the feeder, because these feeders have got a pigtail inside which feeds the food out, and when you knock them, as I've done this a little bit, it knocks the food out, even though these were fed, not due to get fed till about 2:30 this afternoon. But that's them in there. I'm not sure. I do think that the Garomo there, beetroot, I think is too big for this pond, but I'm not overstocked in the back. I don't want to put him back in there. Right, so we'll get on to, I don't know if anybody remembers, but when I did my first selection, I moved 42 fish into here, which were the second biggest, if you like, and I don't know how many is left in there at the moment, but it looks about 15. But I've put these in here just to show you the quality of the fish I've got and the fact that they're not growing. Now I've got to put that down to, as I've said in past videos, unsettling them, fluctuating temperatures, and obviously in here they're not heated. But I did struggle to get them to eat any food. There is some quite nice ones, but it's a shame that the little one down there is a beauty. But obviously I don't know what's going to make a good fish or what's going to make a bad one, but yeah, there's some nice fish in there. I've also taken a sample out the back pond, the swimming pool pond. I couldn't catch the bigger ones, but to be fair, that one there's, I should say, is not far off the size of my best ones in the back. So when I thought I might compete at the earlier time of the year when we first got these fish, I'm afraid there's no chance. But I'm going to keep persisting with them because I do think there's some nice fish, and I have grown fish on in this pond. Obviously a lot fewer, but I have grown them on here to quite a decent size, because obviously most of these in here started. The Kiyotsury down there, the yellow and black one, and the Yamabuki all started in this pond. So there is a chance I will get them up to something like 8 to 10 cm before I have to move them. But we'll give it a go, and I do like that one. Vince did say when I moved these, there's some cracking fish in there, but if only they would grow. Right, I'm going to take you on back, show you what I've been doing there. So as you can see, there's a lot left in there. Obviously I'm never going to catch them all in this larger area, body of water, so basically I just scooped out what I could. There are some bigger ones in here, but they're not that much bigger, to be fair, than what I've got in my bowl. But as you look around, there is fish everywhere, and there's some really tiny ones which I'll show you in a minute, because I did catch some, and you can see they've not been eating each other. I went out and bought some more food because I run out of the fry food. Don't know whether you'd be able to see it or not, but it's sinking food. And I'm not sure what you do with this sinking food, because when you've got food on the top, if it's not gone in 20 minutes, you're supposed to scoop it out. Well, I put this in there this morning. They don't, and some on it might have even been from yesterday, but I'm just wondering whether I just ought to get back in and start backing some out, because I have seen food going mouldy in past, obviously, when I got them in the greenhouse. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of sinking food, because you can't tell what you've got, especially in an area like this. I've got some nice fish in there, you know. They'll not be very big, but I reckon the best things come in smaller packages. That's why I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. Right, well, have a look at these in here. Look how small some of these are. They have grown, but not a lot at all. But again, even though they've not grown, there is some really nice fish. I'd like to think I could grow, as I say, it grown to a reasonable size, and then if anybody did want some, they could have them, quite like that one there. And there's a bigger one, same sort of coloration in the pond, but it's just catching them. And there's this one here. He looks a bit like the one I like, the bigger one, Lightning, with a stripe across his face. But as I say, there's tiny ones in here, but the cracking looking fish, and I am tempted to actually get empty the other pond, put all the bigger ones in here, and then bang some of these really small ones in there and get some crumb in and try and bring them on a little bit in there. The ones I think are going to make decent fish, not the scruffy ones and the ones with the bent tails and things like that. You'll have to let me know what you think. Is it going to work, is it not? But I am going to end up with some fish, that's pretty obvious. How many? I think will be down to, how can I say, how cruel I can be, if you like, or sensible, some other people would say, and feed them to the bigger fish in the main pond. Speaking of which, I will show you them. They're still doing really well, but look at size on them now. They're growing like mad. I just wish my little ones would grow like this, because you can see colour at water. It's like a tea colour, but it's going to be really overstocked, especially if I bring beetroot back in here, and they're not going to have the room. I could do with some, no, I'm not going to say it. There's a couple in there I'd like to get rid of, but when they're the age they are, I don't think they'd survive any kind of journey. And who wants a ghost carp and a twisted fish? But that one's massive. It's really fat, but they really doing well. They still come to this corner when when I come over here later on in the day, thinking they're going to get crab sticks, but I'm not going to feed them every day. And in fact I've cut down on the food a little bit, because they're just growing too quick. and I want them to look at, not to worry about all the time. But as I say, they're eating everything. So what have I been doing regards filtration and one thing and another? What I did the water test this morning with my test kit there. Everything seems alright. Slightly up on a bit of ammonia in the main pond, but everything seems alright. Look how these have come up to the top. Well, they come up like that, and if I throw food in, they don't go for it like they should. Anyway, back to this. Doing a test kit, did my test this morning, everything seems okay, reasonable anyway. And what I've also done, I've put that on back of there so I can flush this filter through. It's getting a lot of muck in it, so sooner than just try and undo the valve at the back, I decided to put all this on. And all I do, I get this pipe, I wedge it down into the grate. See if I can just rig it up something like so you can see. So that's what I do. I just wedge it down into the grate, just shove it onto there, and obviously just open the valve. I leave the pump running so it can flush it all through, and I put a trickle in after just to top the water up, and I must admit it's saved a lot of effort. Obviously I've got that on pressure filter on that end as well. Regards the pressure filter on the front pond, the one with your twist, which has got the media in the bottom, the hose lock one, I'm not really that impressed with that. I've cleaned it out twice. And it's been filthy at the bottom. And regards the media in the bottom, looks as clean as a whistle. And it's been in 3 months, maybe more, I don't know. Anyway, get back to the garden, looking really well. What I've had to do is down here, these were self-seeding tomatoes, and I left them, and while I've been away, with them being on the old compost area, they took off. I got foliage everywhere, and they were just blocking these French beans out. Got some ready there. Yeah, blocking these French beans out, so they weren't producing anything down the bottom. But as you can see now, get them a bit of light, and if you have a look down there, there's a couple of vines of tomatoes growing, and they'll just be right for when greenhouse finishes producing fruit. But what it's also done, in fact look, there's some coming here as well, and there's some over there. So if anybody tells you that they're not going to grow if they're self-seeding, this is proof they will. But it's cut the light out from the potatoes I've got in there. They look a bit spindly, and it's virtually killed that courgette. That's hardly had any light at all. But I must have took at least half the foliage off from down the bottom here, and some from the top. It's not going to do it any harm. Some of these runners, really, I could take them off as well, that there. I don't think that's going to produce anything before end of season, so yeah, so that's where we are with that. Been taking the beetroot out, and go over here where I took the onions out a few weeks ago. I've got radishes and beetroot and lettuce and everything growing, and I've also done a bit more potting up of the runners from the strawberries. All I've done is just put a bit of compost in, taken one of the runners, popped it into the compost and left it, and it'll produce a nice plant next year. And that one there is already doing quite well. That was put in about a month ago, I should imagine. But not done anything more on that. Struggling with my knee at the moment. I have been referred to have a new knee the other week. I've had a steroid injection and I'm on all sorts of stuff. But I did go down and see, when I was away for the weekend, we went down to a wedding near Stonehenge. What a nightmare on roads. 3 hours 40 turned into 6 hour drive. But while we was down that way, because it's such a long way, I went and saw Twisted Koi, Vince at Twisted Koi, my mate, and we had a couple of hours and a nice chat. He asked me if I wanted a fish, but I told him I couldn't because me being overstocked. And I did let him have one of my golf t-shirts. And the obligatory Jaffa cakes. So I always think it's a good idea. You can get on the right side on him with a Jaffa cake. God knows where it'd differ a Red Bull as well. But yeah, tried to go around as quick as I could because and let you see everything. Things are coming on. I just wish these would grow a bit quicker. As I say, there is some bigger ones in here, but I don't know what to do about whether to try and catch them all and put some really nice little ones in the front and move them from the front into here. Let me know what you think about that, because there is some cracking little fish in here. And if I only got about 10 in and I'd got them eating, I think they'd come on. Nowhere near what Tony at Far More Koi and the others have got, but mine aren't living in them conditions anymore. And I think that's what upset them. That fluctuation in temperatures just stopped them dead. When it got up to about 39 degrees, I thought I was going to lose a lot. I'll see if I can catch that little fella. Look at him. He's beautiful. I do like him. Whether he's a show winner or not, I don't know. I might bring him on and take him to Junior Koi show. Yeah, and a laugh. Right, so I'm going to end it there, folks. I hope you're happy with the update. I didn't know whether to do one or not, but I feel because people are making the effort to comment and making the effort to subscribe to me, which thank you very much, 506 now I think I'm on. I'm going to have to put the air back on in here, but I have had the compressor out this week and put a bit of extra air in. So I'm going to get these some air back in, get these sorted and try and make up my mind what I'm going to do with the fish in the swimming pool and whether to try and bring a few little ones on in the front. So I'm going to post this now, so if you can let me know before 6 o'clock, I'll still have them where I can sort them out and get them moved if I want to. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and have a lovely weekend. Thank you, bye.